Greg.
Mike.
Two bandits.
Watching
Bluey.
Party people, what is up? It is Mike Martin, not your good pal Greg Painter, but I am still Mike Martin. And this week we are going through a whole bunch of things with our bingos and our Blueys graduating from kindergarten and so on. So we do have a handful of things going on in our adult life that can sometimes be difficult. So what we're going to do today, I know we did it a couple weeks ago and we apologize for it, but don't worry, we are coming back next week with Barky Boats. Get hyped. Mackenzie's got a lot going on. We want to chat about it. Mike wants to chat a lot about it. So we will be throwing that at you next week. But in the meantime, we are going to throw back an homage to an old school episode from our Patreon because we do have that in the back pocket. So we're going to do a shout out to our good friend Brent Kelly, who did the episode The Adventure with us when we talk about the first episode of Firefly, which you can find on our Patreon. Usually Greg's a lot better about discussing where to find the Patreon and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to throw them in the description. So deal with that. But until next week, to be continued. It's got to be done.
What up, party patrons?
Oh, no. They're doing this.
Welcome.
Okay.
To Two Bandits Blueverse Choice. I'm Greg.
He's Greg. I'm Mike.
And we're here
To talk about what?
We're talking about Firefly.
Okay. Don't even.
Thanks to good friend Brent Kelly.
Holy guac.
And I feel like we should, we'll kick it off by saying I feel like we should be giving Brent $2 a month for suggesting us to watch this show. Because holy cow.
I'm set back in a different position right now after watching that. So this is how we do our Patreons. We just kind of start talking about it as opposed to maybe going down the synopsis, because I don't know if we can do the synopsis in a good way, but do it justice, I guess you could say.
I have.
Yes, because I have a lot of notes on this.
I have our
one.
Netflix synopsis.
Ooh, oh, okay.
For episode 1. So we're not talking about the whole series.
No.
Although after that first one, because Mike and I, neither of us have seen a lick of Firefly. I did not know what it was about.
A lick of Firefly.
Not a lick of Firefly.
And
didn't know what it was about. So this was all brand new, and I see a binge coming here soon of this lovely show.
We were chatting about it without trying to chat about it. Like, a difficult thing that Greg and I do is we try to, like, we'll have a conversation, we start to have a conversation, and then we literally look at each other and say, save it for the pod. And this is one of those, a lot of save it for the pod.
Yes,
I give nothing but kudos to Brent on this one. But I'm not here to just sit here and thank people. Let's freaking, you feeling froggy? Let's jump in this water, man.
We'll jump. Netflix synopsis of episode 1.
Our good friends.
Our good friends at Netflix?
Yeah.
No, Hulu.
No.
Hulu synopsis.
Yes.
I've got notes about that in a minute too. But anyway, in desperate times, the crew of Serenity is transporting passengers to another planet, only to discover someone has smuggled something strange on their cargo.
So I'm not a Marvel guy. I'm not a Star Wars guy. So jumping into something that is sci-fi is tricky for me.
It's difficult.
It is difficult. And even though I watched Doctor Who, so like there's a balance, and I don't know why I'm such a snob about it. And so starting to watch this one, I had that taste in my mouth at first of, oh, this is gonna be funky for me.
It felt off the, and I have a different feel because off the jump, it felt very. Oh gosh, what's the name of that?
Go ahead.
Starship Troopers. It felt very Starship Troopers to me off the jump, just like with their battle scenes.
Yep.
I was waiting to see what the bad guys were.
Yep.
Because it started with the fight scene, and you could hear gunshots.
Yep.
Then what sounded like lasers.
Yes.
And you don't bring a gun to a laser party. That usually goes poorly.
And I don't think it's... We're going to talk a lot about this here, so buckle up here, kids. I don't think it's until at least midway through the episode that they mention that they are based on Earth. So
I was surprised that they were. It felt like Earth fell.
Yeah.
In that opening scene, and I honestly was waiting because we have.
Keep going, baby.
I also liked.
We're swimming.
I like we're too pretty to die, and I just felt like same. Anyway, but then seconds after you're too pretty to die, just like pew, unceremoniously shot and dead the dude. And then we see as far as I can tell, spaceships in the sky. just raining down
Yes.
fire on everybody. And I saw the screen goes black. It's like, okay, we're going to get like 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to see what led to that moment. And then they said 6 years from now. And we see old Nathan Fillion. And I was like, wait, what? How are you alive?
Like I've got my stupid notes that I took throughout it, so I think I'm gonna like dribble it in as we keep talking about.
Yeah, my notes are very linear, but they're not hitting every peg. So I think
First note I have is that's the actor from A Knight's Tale, right? Have you seen A Knight's Tale?
isn't the Knight's Tale's Heath Ledger?
Yes.
Yes.
The
I have not seen a Knight's
pilot.
Tale. I'm so sorry, Brent. I know that breaks your heart.
There's no
but I have not
sorry.
seen it yet.
That's up. Maybe I'll sign up for the Patreon and put in A Knight's Tale. So it's all good. I'm gonna
You're
sign
gonna
up
put
5
so many
times.
things.
Shut up. But the pilot is in A Knight's Tale. So
Oh, the pilot, as in
the pilot,
Dino Boy.
yes.
Yeah, that's Alan Tudyk. You don't know about Alan Tudyk?
Go ahead. Just talk
Oh
to
my
me.
god!
Just talk to me.
I love this dude so much.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
He is in like
I want to make sure I'm not lying to you. Like,
he
go
is
ahead.
in like he is the good luck charm of Disney at this point. He's like in all of the Disney movies. He plays what's his name? Lord Wesselton in Frozen. He plays Weaselton in as a clear clip on the Frozen guy in Zootopia. He plays Hey Hey in Moana. He plays a lot of the animal sounds in Encanto. He's like the Disney guy who's got some role in like the last
That's totally him.
20. Yeah, in the last 20 things. And that was the only thing that I thought I knew about. I was like, isn't Alan Tudyk in this? I'm pretty sure he is.
He's the
And when
pilot.
he came onto the scene, just like, I'm going to get you, dinosaur. I was like, I don't know what this is, but yes.
He's so. It's tricky in this one because I'm going to say it probably 18 times, and this is going to be the longest Patreon we've ever done. Whatever. Right out of the gate, because I love him so much, I was like, I'm going to pick him as my favorite character. I know I'm going to. It's going to happen. And there's so many favorite characters that I can't even keep up with.
Dude, same on this one right here. Because I literally, I got to that moment and I was like, oh, I've just filled in my favorite character.
Done.
And then halfway through the episode, I was like, nope. I'm gonna change that.
Stereo.
Oh my gosh.
So, go ahead. My turn. Yeah. Horses.
We're pretty much doing the same. This is a cowboy western in outer space, and I
Space Cowboys.
freaking love it.
What? And okay, so I have thoughts about 5 different things. So I think the thing that threw me off at first, I thought I wasn't gonna like about it, is that westerny kind of music, just the thwanging background. I'm like, oh, this is gonna turn me off of it. It really and it just kept going. I'm like, okay, and then I watched the intro video. Just what
When they finally got to the actual
yeah,
opening
like
song
welcome
thing.
to
Yeah.
show. This is Firefly, and they showed the horses. I'm like, why the heck are the horses? How did? Because I still didn't know if it was on Earth or not.
Because it would have been easy enough to make them like space horses with an extra leg or
Sure.
something.
No, these are
but
legit horses, and you're going from planet to planet, and there are horses everywhere. So the horses travel everywhere. So I'm still perplexed by it, and I'm hoping, like, I'm very bummed. What bums me out is I know that there is a finality to the series without true conclusion of what's to come, but we haven't gotten there yet.
I'm hopeful that, because I know just from talking to Brent,
Yep.
shout out again, Brent, that there is a movie.
Yes.
And I believe the movie was after the
Yes,
show. So I hope
vetted
that the
that with
movie helps put a nice bow on things.
I don't know. But
I
we're
guess
not here
we're
to
gonna
talk about
find
that, are
out.
we?
We aren't. Another thing I loved.
Yes.
We're humped. Love the swears. They were very Biscuits level. Like, we're humped. And there was another one. I wrote it down. We'll get to it.
I have them. Don't worry.
You have all the things.
What weirded me out about it is it felt like there was so much already going on in this universe that I didn't know enough about, and I almost was like, oh dang, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what's out. But they have a full almost dialect or language that they use for terminology that I was just like, oh dang. Oh, I had captions on. I was trying to keep up.
And then they randomly, like, speaking in Spanish, speaking in
Chinese.
Chinese. And it's like, what is going?
So I couldn't even keep up with that. And so after the horses of the beginning of the intro, everyone's horny right out of the gate. I don't know.
Everybody's super horny.
So, like, welcome to Two Bandits talking about horny things, but they, like, the everybody had their specific couples, and this is before they brought in the companion, I think they referred to it as.
I do, but before we get to that,
Yep.
I do want to, we had the whole trying to steal, and then we'll get to this in a minute.
Keep going, baby.
We're not doing
Keep going, yeah.
They get, this is going to be a little bouncy,
Whee!
but they get the gold.
Yes.
Something's wrong with the gold, and nobody knows what's wrong with the gold, and they bring the
Look
gold
at the back of it.
It's food!
Dude,
It's food!
it's one of my last
like,
notes of it's food.
I truly wish, and I mentioned to you before we went on mic, I wish we did this as our first watch along. We'll eventually have a
Yes.
watch along. I wish this was our first watch along because I was all over the place watching this from this is too much. I need a primer to even understand what's going on.
All right, we're gonna
Holy
bounce-
shoot! I love that idea. Oh my
save.
god!
So they bring in Mr. Book, and he's got the box. He's Grandpa. They call him Grandpa, the older gentleman with the gray hair. He's the shepherd.
Oh, the preacher, the shepherd.
Yes.
I was really rough with names. Like
Dude,
a lot of my notes have like that guy or Alan Tudyk guy.
And-
I picked it up later on, but anyway, Book.
He's got the box, and he gives it to, I think Kaylee is her name, and then there's a scene later on in the episode where she opens up this sacred box, and then she pulls out what I'm expecting, like alien gold. I'm expecting it's a strawberry. I was like, I had to pause it. It laughed out loud for 5 minutes. Like, why did she have a strawberry? And that's where I didn't realize the gold is food. So is this?
Kaylee, like she's so enjoyable because we'll get to the
Sure.
I think we're
Keep
close.
talking.
I think that's right around the horny scene, as you put it. But so let's talk about horny Mike for a moment.
Okay.
And then we'll get to Kaylee.
Well, because you have the pilot and his gal friend. Like, everybody had this just interesting, almost just pent up sexuality frustration of, So the captain character, I have a lot of mental notes about him. If I were to put him in
Captain Mal.
Yes, if I were to lightning in a bottle him, he's Sid from Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh.
Mixed with Captain Jack from Doctor Who, because I think it's probably just more the look of him. But he's just he's got that same vibe that I had when we were talking about the zoo episode, right? He's got a little bit of a jadedness to him. He's got this, like, he's always got a
He's the cowboy. He is my stepdad Butch. Loves westerns.
Sure.
He watches westerns from the 60s like it's the only thing that exists in the world.
Really?
And he is very much a 1950s, 60s Old West.
Let's go.
I'm a gruff jerk, but you're going to love me because I'm really a softie underneath.
Sure.
And there's something mysterious about me that you don't know about that you're probably going to find out later, assuming we weren't canceled before that came out.
But I'm going to give infinite shout out of the writing on the show, because the whole, like, throughout the entire episode, and this is just episode 1 because I don't know if it's consistent. The whole using Chinese as a main version of the language they speak, it pops in, but they use it when it's a serious moment, and it's like, shut the heck up, Greg. Like, if I could just start throwing 5 things in Chinese at you, I would be like, bah, because it's just, this is a serious moment, boom, and it really just creates that, along with their dialect that they use with their own just terms. I have 2 words written down, and I don't know what it means now, unfortunately, but it was during conversation. They use the word tetchy.
I remember that. I don't remember what it means, though.
And then it was, oh man, that just makes me sound like a bomb. I should have had like a full thing. Gorum Den. I don't know.
They have, that makes me feel like the little Star Warsiness of it too, because they
Sure.
have like just the random swears too,
Yeah.
and that they throw out
For sure.
But everything's over. They've got the spacey things, but it's still well grounded, and it's
And they're talking about, I mean, they use the names of, I can't say names of countries, but they use names of other planets or names of other moons, or, the outer rings. Well, they're this, and it's just, and it felt kitschy at first to me, to be honest. And even when they're walking around the initial thing where they're trying to find passengers, I think, for their ship.
I was confused. Why?
I think it's just
they needed money that badly that even though they were in a really rough situation where we got the Willy Wonka bars, but
Yeah.
they've got the symbol on them.
Oh, I think-
so we've got to sell them, but not here.
That's their quote unquote business. I think is they.
The passengering?
Yes. Like
Okay.
They are a Greyhound ship almost. I think in some way.
Okay.
Or even like a Titanic.
Which I guess makes sense because they've got the prostitute on board.
Yes.
So the sex
companion?
worker. Sex worker.
Yes.
Sex worker. That's the...
Not
as nice as they said on the show about her.
Yeah. They dropped the W word on her.
What were they calling her? Not the ambassador.
Oh no, it was ambassador.
It was ambassador?
Yes, absolutely, and that's why I was so confused about
Me
it.
too, because at first I was like, they flipped after the love scene.
Yep.
We'll call it a love scene. And she flips, the timer comes to an end, and
Yeah.
shoo bumble, and away he goes. And I was like, wait a second.
Right, and it did it in a weird way too, because it was. We have so much to talk about, and this is gonna be an hour-long episode, whatever. It felt like it was almost just whoever she was with. He was like It felt like a whole different cutscene of somewhere else completely. It didn't feel like it was
I didn't think
all
they were
on
on
the
the boat.
ship. Right.
But that makes sense if they're like basically a bad cruise ship.
Yeah.
They would need entertainment aboard, and that
Sure.
would be her role apparently.
Not complaining.
I very much love that actress too.
Yeah?
I think she is, one, a great actress, two, flippin' gorgeous.
Sure.
I had no idea to expect her popping up in there.
Uh-huh.
I know her from Gotham.
Okay.
Which that's a Batman show.
It's okay.
And she's in both Deadpools.
Okay.
And
I've seen the Deadpool. What up?
And she's in like this new show where she's got a weird Russian accent.
Okay.
That I haven't watched, but
can
I've seen the
see
commercials
that.
of. Just very much enjoy her.
Sure.
But know who I enjoy way stinking more?
You like Kaylee Moore.
Kaylee.
I knew you were her. So when she was trying to bring people on board, just her sitting with her umbrella.
Kaylee. You had Sophie on your screen from
Sure.
Final Fantasy VIII. Kaylee is Sophie from Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
If we're gonna keep making Final Fantasy comparisons to these characters, she is light, she is airy, she is bubbly, she is happy. I love my captain. Twirl my umbrella. Come on board. It'll be fun.
Sure.
Hey everybody, great. Shot in the stomach.
Dude, that's the moment.
I screamed, no!
That's the moment
Watching this.
that I was like, oh, this show is something.
That's when it clicked to me.
Yes,
That's when it was
same.
That's when I remembered. Oh, that's right. This is the guy who made Buffy and who broke my heart 18 different times on Buffy
Oh, really?
and stuff like this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen a couple episodes of Buffy.
Yeah. Buffy was great.
Buffy, there's one episode of Buffy that's the creepy guys that are floating, the silent ones or something like that, and they're the walkers in the nighttime. Very creepy episode. I remember that. That's all I remember from Buffy.
What my favorite episode, maybe one of my favorite episodes of TV that you could just watch one. Probably not my favorite episode of anything ever.
Sure.
But like if an episode is like I could just turn it on and watch it and be happy, is the Buffy episode Once More with Feeling,
Okay.
where a demon possesses them.
Is it
and then
musical?
it turns into a musical.
Actually, I've seen that
The
one.
entire show is a musical, and they're just like, this is great.
Oh,
This is great.
So I like to do the small things, and I like to do the find the random things when they're originally walking around before anybody even boards the ship and what have you. They're cooking things, and I think maybe that's where my head was kind of glitching about the food thing, and it didn't click completely about what they were transporting. But they're cooking. There's a sign outside of one of the ships, and they're cooking meat, and it just says "Good dogs!" exclamation point. And I was thinking, oh, is it the name of the restaurant, or is it? Oh, I hope. Kind of like my head was just kind of trying to piece everything together. Of
I have
good dogs for sale.
with poor Max sitting next to us. We'll transition away from that.
Okay, that's cool.
Speaking of cooking,
He's
of
old
that,
meat.
Oh,
I love you so
very
much, hot dog.
Also loved. There's just certain rooms
Mm-hmm.
in the ship that look like that I think was the kitchen. I think it looked like a 1970s kitchen to me.
Sure.
Like with wallpaper on the wall and just the aesthetics. Like this is weird and great.
I love their ship because it is a rickety ship. 100% it's a rickety ship. And also like in that same motif of how everything is constructed, when he goes to the bathroom, Captain Mel, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The toilet pulls out
I
and he just boop, he kicks it.
have a note. I want that toilet.
He pulls out the sink, boop, washes his hand,
That would
shuts
be
it.
so convenient. I wish everything in my life was like. I wish my bed did that. Although that's a Murphy bed, so it technically could.
Yeah.
I wish everything in my life did that and just could have like an open area for so many activities.
The compact bathroom is so legit. Is literally my sentence for that.
That pod hotel that we stayed at for the wrestling show needed one of those. Let me tell you.
Shout out SummerSlam 2017, 18. You want to really get to know a friend? Stay in a pod hotel together.
Yes, sir.
You stay nice and close.
Yes, sir. Know who I don't like?
Okay. Go ahead. Hang on. We're going to say it at the count of 3.
1,
2, 3.
Jane. Yup. Jane sucks.
I cannot stand him. His
Me
character,
to
like
everybody.
every now and then, I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to start liking him. And then, well, I'm going to turn on the captain.
I have a funny feeling that either around episode 7, 8-ish, we're gonna be like, and be sad when he dies or something.
Okay.
Or season 3, he would have been really great.
So,
Because I feel like bad, the lines between bad and good and what to expect, it feels like it's gonna be
it's all over the place. Yes.
Because same with because like you said at the end, which again, very old timey Westy is like, so we tried to buy you off. Yep, not enough money. Well, so what happened when it is? We'll see then.
We'll see.
So, what?
Dude. And the whole we're not gonna digest the entire episode, and I can tell that's not gonna happen right now. The moment that he took out the sniper and he's sitting there and he's pointing at Mel the whole time, and I'm like,
he flipped.
he's not. It's not. There's no way. He's going to shoot somebody else, and he shoots the top hat off of Tex-Mex. I don't remember what.
The second there was like, and again, I wish we did a watch along. The second they showed that hat on the screen, I wrote down like, if that hat doesn't get shot off his head, I'm gonna be so mad. Because again, I've seen a lot of westerns growing up, and
Just shoot him politely.
Oh my goodness, so good.
So, how many times does the captain punch Simon?
So I counted 3. And I even Simon. First, when I saw him,
Yep.
he felt like, and I know this, you're probably not going to get this reference, but he looked like Daredevil to me.
Okay.
Like from Marvel. I think just
Ben
because
Affleck.
of the glasses. Yes.
Howdy. Blind one. Got it.
Yes.
Still going.
Look at you.
2 for 2.
Look at you. But the glasses just look like the Daredevil glasses from the first movie.
Oh, the initial thing where
Yeah.
he's looking like John Lennon or
Yeah.
like Geddy Lee.
And it very much is we don't need any more surprises or problems. Cue that guy.
And it plays the brooding music when he's around right out of the gate, where it's just like, oh, can't
Again,
trust this guy.
I would have felt, because he shows up and then they randomly show up, and there's this other guy who's whatever and over there.
The creepy, yeah.
Yeah, and then
the lawman.
Then somebody betrays, and I wrote down in my notes, it's like $1 million. It's not Simon. It's like $1 million. Mal's gonna blame Simon. It's not gonna be him.
He's made right out of the gate to be not trusted, like for sure,
because he's asking questions.
Yep.
And he's not answering questions.
Sure. Well,
And the other guy's just there because if you're gonna be a mole, that's the way to do it,
dude. Like it feels so. What I've gotten out of this, and I'm hoping that the cast is consistent throughout. And I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if it's Game of Thrones and episode 4 it's a whole new cast because everybody's killed off. I don't know, except for probably the captain because I think he's in the movie. I don't know, but it feels like I don't know.
I would be shocked if he's.
It feels like this really cool mixture of, and not to do the whole throw at that, but it feels like a mixture of Clue, which the old and then the old reality show. Did you ever watch the show The Mole?
Yeah. Oh, I
Loved it. So
The Mole was good. Celebrity Mole was amazing.
was it really?
You never saw Celebrity Mole?
No, I did not.
Find it somewhere because it's literally the mole, except they're all celebrities.
Tony Dan is in it.
Pretty much.
So it has this like just who do you trust? Do you trust people? Can you trust them? I don't know. And it's westerny, it's spacey, but it's fun. But I screamed out curse words that I won't say on the Bluey podcast or even this one right now. I screamed at the screen so many times. And the moment Kaylee was shot right out of the gate, I was like, I yelled, and Finn's
mad.
like, don't yell. Because I was like, no! Because it was just, that moment happened. And it's just, okay, it's going to get serious really quick. And it turns out Simon's a doctor. Well, he was a doctor the whole time, but could you trust him?
And again, right when they
Keep
said
going, man.
Simon's a doctor, it's like, oh, who is he saving?
Right.
But when Kaylee got shot, in my head, it's like, she's dead.
Done.
Game over.
Yep. No. She's not. And also, he's got super genius sister. And when I saw her at first, too, they were like, oh, dang. Because they still didn't trust him yet. They didn't trust him yet. And he kicked open the box. What's in the box? A human.
Dude.
And she's
River.
superhuman. He was like, I'm a doctor. And I know a ton of things. And they call her gifted. Or there was a sentence he said.
She gave me Lilu vibes from Fifth Element.
Oh, yes.
Just between, like, I know that's when she was born, and it's a different, but, like, she was born naked in a tray thingy, and then she's, like, super brain, and there's clearly something off with her because of whatever's happened to her.
Right. And she, the actress, so something actor people do, and it's a subtle, unwritten, just really cool thing. And I feel like I do it when I'm trying to intimidate people. And I used to do it a lot when I worked in the cell phone business, is when I'm thinking about something and I'll do this. And I'll look around a lot. And the actress does that when she's just digesting. And it's just
I don't think it's intimidation for her, though. I think it's fear.
Right.
Like, she doesn't know what that
100% is. It's just, it shows that her mind is going 600 miles an hour while your mind's going 40 miles an hour.
I'm very excited for the point that's definitely going to happen.
Don't do it.
When
Don't.
something clicks for her, and she goes like,
she remembers.
We're all screwed about something. It's all better now.
Puts all the math together. The ship that they're on, it's Serenity is the name of the ship, right?
Yes.
I think it's just the amalgamation of just putting stuff together in your life, and just it's random and piecemealed, and it's just certain things in that ship are, that's not good, but it's 1970s easy, and it's
know what I love about the ship?
What do you love?
I was watching it. It was early in the episode when they were ransacking the one ship and getting the candy bars, and
candy bars.
And then they bust off, and as they're flying away, the butt of the ship lights up yellow, and Zoom is like, oh, it's like a Firefly. Oh!
Have they come to terms? Have they? So, like, because they did the thing where, like, they say, this is The Shining. And you're like, oh, Jack Nicholson said The Shining. Even though they didn't say it. Like, did you have that moment when they said the word Firefly, and you're like, oh yeah,
A little bit.
Because I still didn't piece together why it was called a Firefly, though. Is it just because of that?
I think they said it was a Firefly class ship, too.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Like, it's not brand, but the type of vehicle that...
Vehicle.
We're putting a lot together. It was food.
Another good trope. Another good trope I really enjoy.
Yes.
I keep calling him Preacher, but what are they... Different starts with an S. It's not the speaker. What do they call him?
He was... Oh, no. We said it earlier, though.
You did. Started with an S.
Oh, no. It's gone.
Anyway, trope that I like, again, it's a very Western-y trope. The preacher talking to the prostitute, the sex worker, and just them being best good friends.
Yeah.
And it's very...
Brought in food for her.
I'm very curious, because the way cut the scene before was just her giving herself a nice sensual cloth bath.
Yeah.
And then he's just there, and it's like, was he just chilling?
Shepherd. Sorry. I needed to find it there.
Appreciate you.
It was... So...
But just the conversations they had...
Is it?
She just got, like, knocked down for who she is and what she does, and he's there.
She's got
as
power.
The supposedly sanctimonious preacher guy. But you're like, no, you're good. You're a person. I could spit, all these biblical things at you.
Sure, but I'm not going to. Yeah, and you can tell that she's just, like, not just as wise, but you can tell that she has a lot going on knowledge-wise in her past. Okay, go for it. You got words.
Something just hit me, too.
Not me. I didn't do it. That wasn't me.
So, we're at the dinner table.
Yes.
Mind if I say a prayer? Only mind if you do it out loud.
Nobody talks. And he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, because I care if you say a prayer out loud. I don't want to hear that crap. Basically what he's saying. What happens in, like, the first 30 seconds of this show? After he gives a speech to all his men on the beach 6 years ago. He grabs the cross on his chest, kisses
Smooches it.
and then puts it down. And I even wrote, and it's like, I wasn't expecting a big Christian presence in this show. This is
Right.
kind of surprising stuff.
I had to rewind it twice because I was like, did he? What? Because I thought it was like a different symbol or something.
At this point, God's dead to him. Is basically what. So it's very interesting. He was so religious to the point that he's kissing his crucifix that he's wearing around his neck.
And Captain's just eating while he's doing his prayer too.
Yeah, because he's like, no, this is all BS. I'm done. He's a very interesting character.
Mm-hmm. I like him a lot. I do a lot more than I like Jane.
Don't like Dobson either, but we don't have to worry about Dobson anymore because he has
Which one's Dobson?
one of the best deaths. Dobson's the lawman.
Dobson's lawman.
Lawrence
Okay.
Dobson.
Yes. So, was it written this way, or I'm feeling like I'm going to ask that question a lot when I'm going to realize yes, it was written that way. Duct tape? Why are you putting duct tape behind his back? You're in a freaking spaceship.
You're in the future.
So many things you could do, and his hands are taped behind his back. Just tape. And
I was also a little bit curious. Did Jane give him the thing to cut the duct tape?
That's what I think is tie him up. He gave him duct tape because he was offering him cash to betray. So maybe the tape, he could have just said, put your hands behind your back, homie, and you're good to go. But
also didn't appreciate him hitting, again, I lost the name, not preacher, but the
shepherd. Oh.
He didn't only knock him out. He knocked him out and then
three more
bashed him three more times.
And he came out bleeding. Also, Jane, I mean, the one fun thing I like about, so I don't like the Jane character because I deserve something and I am that gruff. I'm going to beat them up. I'm going to kill them. He did have like 1970s-esque like Playboy pictures in the back of his bedroom area too. So he's got like these cute nudie pictures in the background. Like, I'm still 15. Don't mind me.
And I enjoyed it. It's like, I was hoping to at least take your ear.
Right. So,
you're a bad liar.
But he's I hope bad things for Jamie Jane.
When and if he dies, you're gonna feel bad about it. I
really
feel that in my soul.
Oh, rock paper scissors on this one, man. I don't know.
Again though, loved the death.
Yep.
Of the lawman there,
dude.
Because he just like there and it's like if anybody moves, just pop,
bro. I literally like.
Again, cowboy.
It was after the interaction with Priscilla.
Precious? Not Precious.
No, Patience. And so it was after that whole thing went down. So there was already chaos. And then what's her nose got shot. And I'm like, crap, she's dead too. Great, cool. So we are going to lose a lot of characters. And she's just like, oh, just an armor wound. They get up and they just pew, 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 pew. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is so rad. And they come walking back after all of that. And they made their cache. And is Patience dead then?
No, he spared her. And I also very much enjoyed it because he killed like her entire
shot the horse.
And then he's like, here's your food.
That's right.
Here's the coordinates. Give me my money.
Deuces.
Enjoy running your little world.
That's right. And that was such that's a cool bit of, it was a humble sandwich of just him saying, I do what I do and I love what I do. And I'm getting this a lot in this show already is he is who he is and his crew is who they are. And he brings on people that he wants to be in his Kurt Vonnegut circle of people that exist. And it's great. And he's just, you know what? You go ahead, live in your world, whatever. I'm going to kill your horse and let you know Wu-Tang ain't nothing to mess with. Like, he's
Captain Mal.
Yep.
Back and forth with him.
Okay. Agreed.
One of my not one of the least favorite thing that he did.
Sure.
And like my least favorite scene of this pilot. So.
Yes.
He's talking to Simon.
Yep.
Right after he talked to Kaylee, who was cold and put the blanket on her. And then her arm fell.
When he pulled the BS card on him?
It's like, she's dead.
Dude,
and then he sprints, thinking that his sister's going to be dead next to her now, too. And gets there
Slow-mo.
and all fine. And then they show the cockpit, and everybody's like, ha, ha, ha. And then I said she was dead. What a bunch of idiots.
He says,
dude.
Simon says, he's so psychotic. And then it cuts to them, and they're laughing. And
they're all
he's
psychotic.
like, haha, you're so psychotic. He says this like somebody else, I think it's a pilot, that says, oh, you're so psychotic. And they say it in a comical way. It's so well written there. And
Wash. The pilot, Alan Tudyk, Wash.
That's what his name is. That's correct.
They have a lot of strange names. Bosch, Book, River, Patience.
Fun. This is so cool. In bringing it back to after the Patience scene, and it's the only good scene with Jane, is when they come walking in, Captain just blobs him. Just dead eye, boop. You're dead now. Cool. And he says, Jane, come on. And they pause for a second, and they cuts to the scene, and it's just the two of them hucking right out of the back. Just, all right, dead weight. And in my head, it was funny because I was thinking, can I roll for investigation on the body and see what's if he's got anything in his pockets? Like I went full D&D, like don't check the body, check and make sure, see what's in there. Because when he was going through his bags, he had 2 guns, 2. He went and he was checking stuff, lawman. And he pulled out a gun, put it in his pocket, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, he broke out of his duct tape, and now he's got a gun. And he goes back in the bag. He pulls out another gun. I'm like, okay, guy, you're gonna go 2 guns in the situation. I don't know.
Can't believe that we almost missed talking about this.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not done.
The Reavers,
dude.
I can't think. Like the Reavers, again, for a show that was canceled after a season.
Sure.
I feel like they, in one sentence, were billed to be scarier than the White Walkers in Game of Thrones.
What was it?
The zombies in Walking
Rape,
Dead.
Skin,
I've got
kill.
I read it. They will rape you to death, eat our flesh, and sew our skin into their clothes, and hopefully in that order. Dude.
I can't even right now.
Dude.
I'm so sad that like I can't bring Carrie in the room right now and ask her to talk about it too, because I feel like there's so much to digest.
Many just nuggets of like, this show's going to be great. And how did it not get legs?
I don't think they even showed the Reavers in this episode. Right? They
No.
didn't. You don't know what they are.
Ship.
That's it.
Twice.
That's it. And they just bootleg away and they escape. What? Like
the Crazy Ivan. Dude.
There are so many things, and this is what it saddens me, but you know what? I'm just going to enjoy the entire ride with this one. There are so many plot lines written in this hour and a half episode that feel like I could watch this for 6 months.
There's what's going on with the Alliance and Mal, and
Right.
the Alliance in general. What's going on with River and Simon? What's going on with Inara? There's so many well-built characters for a first episode.
Holy crap! He shot a horse. So I'm not sad about it. I was just like, when I saw it, like the captain is a BA character. He is, because he in my head he's still Sid from Final Fantasy VII. That's
his last lines.
Yes,
closing out the pilots. If I ever kill you, you'll be awake, armed, and facing me. We're still flying. That's enough. It's like, dude,
what?
PIMP captain. You're a jerk, but he is. You are a heck of a jerk.
Dig him. Yeah, there we are, aren't we?
There we are.
I don't think we were there, but there's so much more to talk about. I really do think so, but
I hate to do this to you.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, Mike, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character of the first episode of Firefly is Simon.
Really?
Very much so. He turned me.
We did not talk a lot about Simon, so let's hear a little bit about that.
He turned me completely because he was brought on wearing his cool little circular John Lennon glasses, plays the bad music. He's the bad boy. He's not the bad boy. He's going to be up to no good. And then you start paying attention to all the things he's doing, and you catch yourself realizing that even though they played the bad music, what reason do you have to think he is the big bad? What reason is he? And he actually, in the end, in my head, is the ultimate goodie in the episode. He's there to help. He wants to heal Kaylee. He wants to help his sister. He's worried about his sister. He loves his sister. And it was a fun just twist in my head too, because I thought, oh, he's just a really creepy guy transporting a body. Oh, he's just a really creepy guy transporting his now dead wife. It's his freaking sister that's genius.
When they said sister, it's like,
right. Yeah. Like and you see him growing as a caring character already from where I thought he was just a jerkbag. And also the captain's brought him on. So I feel like he's going to be a character that also progresses. That he's going to have a very protective character of his sister too. So I'm very concerned about what could and possibly happen to Simon. I'm super excited to see what happens with him, and I'm super glad that he wasn't just a jerk butt wearing glasses, showing up in Lawman with a Lawman. Greg, I need to know, who was your favorite character in the first episode of Firefly, man?
This is very hard.
Yeah,
and just because I very much liked Kaylee.
Yep.
But I think we saw the best. I think she's great. I'm giving it to Inara.
Yeah.
I think I like the way her character is set up.
Dig it.
I enjoy. There's way more to her than anyone is giving her credit for.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot smarter than they think. She's a lot craftier than they think. When she was told to leave the spaceship, she was like, hell no. And was like, we need you off to protect you and protect these people. And she still didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was like, you're not one of us, don't belong here, she doesn't feel that way.
No, not at all.
She feels an ownership to every single person on that boat. I very much enjoy her. Also, she's super hot and that doesn't hurt. But that was my favorite character.
And you can see a connection between her and the captain.
Oh yeah, especially that last scene.
She put her hand on his arm, and it was just like, oh, there's some sort of chemistry going on there. All right, so which way do we go from there? Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can ask this question. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing?
Alan Tudyk playing with the dinosaurs. That's the second. That's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Just make no sense. There's no point to it to the story. You're just like, I'm gonna get you. No, I'm gonna get you first. And I was like, he's in this. I like him. This scene's delightful.
It's so fun. It's lighthearted and it's super serious too.
Yeah.
So much going on.
So much going on. What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing was when the captain came in and shot the lawman right in the head. Literally, that was like
really close to.
I dropped my phone and was just like, yes!
We're not playing it up. We're not suffering fools here. Bop! Game over.
Done. Bye. Got it.
Series wrap.
And we're back on the ship. We're running the ship the way we run the ship. And where we go next. And it gave me a feeling of, I thought that the show was going to be an entire season of what we were watching of that first episode, and it was gonna be that whole storyline throughout the entire thing. And it feels like there's just gonna be it's very like episodic things are happening.
Do you know what the name of the next episode is called?
It's called The Beach.
It's called Train Heist.
Oh, I can't wait.
Come the F on, dude.
I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
I would say I'm excited to watch that, but I'm not, because I'll be watching this episode again before I watch the next one, because I'm sure
we have to watch
like this.
We have to
I'm
watch
sure Beth's going to like this. I'm sure Carrie's going to like this.
Oh, we're going to watch
And
Doctor Strange. Let's watch more Firefly. Come on.
And I'm sure I'm excited to hear how you rank this episode.
I have to rank this episode the 50,000 horses that exist in this universe. Somehow, some way, there are horses on. How do you transport the horses? Do you put them in the ships and or is it just horses are canon in every planet?
If you can knock out a lady and put her in an ice freezer, I'm sure you can do that to a horse too.
Okay, yeah,
that's a rough line out of context.
Traveling horses.
Hey, patrons, don't take that audio out of context for me ever, or put it on a t-shirt or anything.
We're here for fun.
Yikes.
Greg, how the heck are we surviving this, and how are you ranking the first episode of Firefly, Serenity?
I am ranking this one rewatch that is happening with Beth tonight.
Done.
Because that's happening.
Holy.
That was fun.
Guac, man.
Thank you, Brent Kelly.
Seriously.
I don't think I would have ever watched this show. And now I can't wait to be super mad that it got canceled 12 years ago after watching the last
20
episode.
years ago.
20 years ago?
It was 2002 when the show came out.
Oh, no. 2002 wasn't 20 years ago.
2002?
That can't be true. No. I remember 20. Oh, now I feel old.
Hang on.
Bring it down.
2002. Yeah.
Boo
20 years
hiss.
ago, man. Oh, I don't even know where to. Thank you. Hey, Brent, as somebody that doesn't watch Marvel movies or anything, I could not thank you enough for what I experienced today watching this for the first time.
How
and
adorable.
Super sorry that I didn't in the past. Anybody that's listening, watch the holy crap out of this. Please.
And that's why I'm loving this Patreon right now. We've seen some fun things.
Yes.
Was not again, Avatar was not expecting that to be as fun as it was.
Awesome.
Turning Red, I
Super
was
cool.
just excited to talk about it because that was a very fun movie. Love the dad jokes. Oh my gosh.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Dad jokes are the best.
And we're not done yet.
And that's what I'm about to say. If you're hearing our voices, even if you've thrown out your one suggestion, hey, we're still fairly new on Patreon. There ain't a lot of patrons out there. Send us another, and then send us another one too.
Sure.
Worst case, we can't get to it. Best case, we're gonna say a lot of things.
We'll double dip.
We got some fun ones. We're gonna talk about old school cartoons next week.
Yes.
Again, we said it on the main feed. Apologies for not getting all 4 last month, but we're gonna do a third one this month just to make right.
We got
two's going to be the
coming
bare
up.
minimum, and we enjoy doing this, so who knows how many we'll do every month, but at least 2. But the more the merrier. Send us in your stuff. cartoons coming up. We're going to be talking about Thomas the Tank soon, too.
That's right. And
Yes,
there's
we
a
got
movie
some
that
interesting stuff.
somebody hit us with a movie that's on YouTube that I'm super excited to talk about. I don't know the name off the top of my head, and I apologize.
I forgot the name, but I remember watching it a long time ago and being creeped out by it, so I'm curious to see how that is.
Buckle up, buttercups. We're gonna throw things out there. So,
but we don't want to leave you wanting more, so we'll just say thank you.
Thank you.
Until
always.
next time.
To
be continued.
It's got it to be continued.